So, Dr. Laura, why are people not using their vacation time?
Well, Nancy, there's a few different reasons. Depends on the situation, but what we're seeing as themes at Canada Career Counseling is that one of the reasons is that organizations are understaffed these days. They're doing less with more, especially after layoffs. There's less people to do the work. So taking a vacation means that you're going to be incredibly busy leading up to it, incredibly busy and overloaded coming back, and you may feel the guilt about putting your work onto your colleagues who are also equally as overloaded. So that feeling of guilt and resourcing is one of the top reasons.
Yeah. So what impact can it have on employees if they're not taking vacation?
Well, I mean, lots of impacts. And I think I also want to mention that the organizational culture plays a huge role too. So you can have a company that says, we value wellness and mental health, and they value vacations on paper, but when it comes to taking them, the unwritten rules are different, right? So a work hard, work all the time, always on culture can really get in the way of vacation. So we're seeing a lot of that too.
So how can employers, like even you're talking about the ones that do have those positive messages, right? Like the encouraging people to take vacations and stuff, but there's still that little bit of extra something there. How can employers encourage staff to take their vacation days and mean it?
Well, I think having a culture from the very top, so we're talking the CEO, the executives, everybody is honoring vacation by taking the vacations themselves, by unplugging on vacations. So modeling that behavior, because if our top leaders model the behavior of working all the time, working on weekends, working on vacations, and not taking vacations, what happens, Nancy, is a trickle-down effect. So then other people in the organization feel that they can't. Even though in writing, on paper, they have a certain number of days, in reality, it'll affect their career progress. That's what they're worried about.
And what about for employees? When you think about that, like you said, some guilt that they may have, or the work that it's going to go onto their colleagues, they don't want that to happen. What messaging do you have for employees?
I have the messaging that if you don't take your vacation and you don't support your colleagues in taking their vacation, we need to support one another, and workloads will be heavier when our colleagues are off. But we need to support and honor this, because without vacation, what happens is we're gradually depleting ourselves and we're not going to be at our best. Our brains aren't as sharp. Our creativity isn't as great. Our ability to solve problems and think strategically, that all dwindles, because as human beings, we're rechargeable batteries. We're not computers that can be left plugged in, meaning you need to recharge yourself in many different ways on a daily basis. But vacations are a very important part of all of that.
And when we talk about vacations, obviously, for me, I like to think, when I think about vacation, I like to think about, leaving the city, going to a beach or something like that. But it doesn't we're not talking about having to take these long vacations, are we?
No, Nancy, I think it's not a one size fits all. So when we're talking to clients and stuff, everybody has different values and things that are important to them. And some people do best by having a longer stretch of vacation all at once. Others do better by spacing their vacation days and making extra long weekends on a regular basis, more so than all at once and one and done style vacations. So really looking at yourself and what works best for you and your lifestyle. And jet setting isn't for everyone. It depends on what you prefer and where you can best unplug. The key is unplugging.
Yeah, taking that time to just really decompress, which I know, again, I say that like I know it well. Let me tell you, I don't. So this has been an incredibly helpful conversation. Thank you so much, Dr. Laura. Really appreciate it.
You are so welcome, Nancy. Stay well.